At 19, Taylor Wood started a pressure washing business with little more than determination and a beat-up van, quietly building trust one job at a time. Through persistence, smart networking, and a commitment to quality service, his small hustle grew into a successful local business.
I was a broke kid. I had no money. Working beach service, being from down here, everyone started the company kind of just throwing something out there, trying to see if it would stick.
Welcome back to the Built Local podcast. Today we have a super special guest on. Actually, the introduction is really funny. We were getting our house pressure washed, and I didn't know that my wife had already filled out a quote form online, and she didn't know that I had already filled out a quote form online. I filled out a quote form for Not Y'all's Business, and I signed it. I literally signed the quote or whatever to get it done about 15 minutes before your guy came and walked up on our door to give us a quote.
That's insane.
And so I was like, oh shoot. And Carly was like, what? Why did you tell them not to pressure wash? And I was like, I just signed something with somebody else. And then anyways, one thing led to the next. And Carly was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and give them a call and see if they want some more reviews. And so then from there, we got connected. We were able to get y'all a bunch of reviews. And so I'm super excited to have you on. But for anybody who doesn't know who you are, Taylor, go ahead and give them, a 60-second origin story about you and your pressure washing business.
Okay, yeah. My name's Taylor Wood, and I am a local business owner here in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. We've now had Optimum window cleaning and pressure washing for going on 15 years now. I like to consider myself young, 34-year-old entrepreneur. I actually started when I was 19, and it was something that I did. I originally I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but I've been down here, I would say, about 17 years now. I had a job as a young kid, and actually a nationwide window cleaning company, and I did it up there. I actually told myself I was kind of done with the window cleaning stuff, and when we moved down here, I just saw by default, I saw that there was a lot of a lot of opportunity down here, so I ended up kind of slowly getting into it.
I love it. So you're 19. Take us back to starting the business. That was, this area obviously has grown a lot. For anybody who isn't familiar with this area, 15 years ago, this was a completely different place, pretty much. A lot less homes, a lot less buildings, a lot less people. And so, what was it like, starting a business, and how long did it kind of take you to get some traction and get things going?
We just now are finally getting, kind of our wheels moving with everything. When I first started the business, I tell when I tell the story, I can't forget the part, can't leave the part out where, I was a broke kid. I had no money. Yeah. I was working beach service, being down here, everyone kind of does that thing. Started the company kind of just throwing something out there, trying to see if it would stick. It did stick, and I started with a 1987 Aerostar that I ripped all of the carpet out, all of the everything that was in it beside the driver's seat. The captain's seat is what we called it. And that was my workshop at that point. I mean, I was so embarrassed that I used to park down the street of my client's house just because I was a young broke kid. And I guess the older I got, I realized that people don't really care for they just want someone that's going to show up and do the work. But it's totally different. It's not what it used to be, for sure.
Well, how did you get your first couple clients?
I believe me and a friend, we went knocking doors. I think I ended up, actually, we didn't get anything from knocking doors, actually. We got it from my boss of the beach service company. He lived in Rosemary Beach, and he let me do his house. And it's a house that I would charge probably $1,500 for now. I did it for $200, and it took me 2 days. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. That's where everybody starts,
Yeah, but it ended up, paying off, because then the neighbors started seeing, and then, I used that for my marketing, like on whatever social media. I think Instagram was brand new in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I mean, it was fairly new.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's awesome. So you're starting the business, you're parking down the street for the quotes and stuff. When was kind of the moment for you where, because there's probably a lot of people listening to this that are like starting their home service business, like they got their truck and it doesn't feel real. When was the moment for you where you're like, oh man, this is like a real business? You're like, okay, we're getting clients consistently. This is something I go full time on.
Yeah, I love that you said real business. I'll say, when I started, everyone just thought it was a cute kid business. But, when I first kind of really felt that momentum was, I would say around 2016, 2017, I bought my first Ford Transit, if you know what that is. A lot of
Yeah.
service industries have those. And then
Yeah.
I would say that's when it really kind of started turning. But then when I got my second vehicle, which was only like 6 months after, because now we started hiring and, that was when I had to let my baby go and kind of start hiring people and trusting people. And that was when it
Yeah.
really kind of hit me.
Yeah,
So.
no, I love it. And not only has this area grown a lot, but the pressure washing and window cleaning industry has just taken off as well. I mean, I feel like it's all over my feed. These 16-year-old kids starting their own business
Yep.
and stuff. So what has it been like to watch the growth of the industry that you've been a part of for a while now?
Real quick, if you're a local business owner and you want to start getting customers from Google, you know how important Google reviews are. Every week, I talk to business owners just like you across hundreds of industries who know reviews matter, but never seem to have the time or the system in place to actually get them. That's exactly why I've spent the last 2 years building Review Harvest. We built it with a non-tech savvy business owner in mind, so anybody can set it up in minutes and start getting reviews today. It automates the process of getting real reviews from your customers, responding to those reviews, and repurposing them across your website and across your social media platforms. It's a set it and forget it software. You can get it all set up in about 10 minutes and you never have to worry about reviews again. We can integrate into the tools you're already using, so you don't have to change a thing. You don't have to train your team on how to request reviews. You don't have to request them manually. You get customers, we get your reviews. It's simple as that. And the first play in our playbook is what we call a review reactivation. You probably have hundreds or thousands of previous customers who loved your service but never left your review. So a lot of times our users can double or even triple their reviews just in the first couple months of working with us when we do that review reactivation.
So, it's so funny because I've talked to people about this. I actually talk to people about it all the time. It's one of those things. I am very happy. I want everyone to succeed and want everyone to be successful. But on the growth of the pressure washing and window cleaning really came during COVID. It was more so the guys that did what we did. They couldn't make money, so they had to make videos. But it was more so, do you want to make $1,000 a day, and that kind of thing. They didn't talk about all the other stuff that went into it. I love to see it growing. I love to see what it's came to. I wish it would have kind of evolved a little differently and maybe not so fast. But I mean, I love it. I want everyone to do good.
What are some, so you talked about giving away your baby, like trusting other people to keep the quality and hiring people and stuff like that. What are some things that y'all kind of instill in your team, in your people to try and go above and beyond and kind of set y'all apart?
I mean, really, I guess everyone would say the same thing as, customer service, but, the customer service for us is going to be more so, being able to get a customer in, out for the quote, as quick as we can, as quick as we can get it in, as quick as we can get it out. But also when the guys are there or the girls, it's just about, just connecting with the customer. When we get finished, they will, part of our protocol is making sure that they walk with the customer around the house, making sure everything is up to standard. And if not, our team's going to fix it. And then always we treat our employees and our customers as family. During Christmas, we're sending cards, we're making sure we're very personal with everyone.
And right now, like what is y'all's, there's a lot of people right now that are struggling. Obviously it's a little bit of the off season for some people. People are struggling with marketing. What's kind of y'all's channel, y'all's marketing approach right now that really seems to be working well?
It always comes back down to Google, man. It always comes back down to SEO and digital marketing. And really, I mean, door hanging's good, but more and more so, I mean, you can't beat the Google, really.
So, when you were growing the business, you went from one truck, one van to 2 vans and all that sort of stuff. What were some growing pains that you experienced, like some of the hardest parts of growing your business?
Again, being able to trust individuals that are not there. It's not their business, and they're just coming there and just trying to make $1, and then going from that to being able to start trying to figure out the whole social media, and because that's when we were starting this podcast. I mean, I couldn't get on. I mean, my ladies in the office do all this stuff. I am horrible with this stuff. So really just finding that happy medium where we were. I mean, really, I guess there was no happy medium. It was just going from. It was just one day it clicked, and do you have the money to now support yourself while putting it into this marketing? And probably I would say the top biggest
Yeah,
hiccup.
for sure. Yeah, and then I always like to ask this question because I never know what response I'll get, and sometimes it makes a good clip. I'm sure after washing for so long and being in the exterior cleaning space, I'm sure you have some interesting customer interactions or some interesting interesting stories. Do you have any crazy stories of washing people's homes?
Yeah, I mean, I got from the people, the customers that we deal with to just interesting. I have one in particular that just it always sticks out, but it's one of those that I don't know if I want to say just because of it's I don't want people to be scared of the business. It was
Yeah.
having a brand new team being. I mean, I guess I can put it out there. It's just I guess you could say that you learn the best when you learn from mistakes, right? I believe
Yeah.
that in life and
Yeah.
business and
Yeah.
everything. And we had a house where we cleaned the windows for a good 2 years, and then the lady finally wanted to hop on with the pressure washing, and this is right when pressure washing transitioned into soft washing,
Yeah.
as you probably have
Yeah.
heard. But she had a purple house, and she said she doesn't trust anyone, and that she's scared that it's going to do something to the paint. And I explained to her, no, that's not how this stuff works. What we'll do is we'll test the spot. We test the spot. We did everything that we should, and then everything came out great. And then when we actually soft washed the house, we did the left side of the house, and we started seeing the purple turn into blue. And so so from there we it was me and one of my guys at the time. I went and told the customer, and she was like, oh, I wouldn't say she was devastated. I mean, she was being very, very fair with us and being understanding. We ended up saying, hey, look, what we can do is just soft wash the soffits, and then we can kind of rinse as we're going so it doesn't do this. But I was lost for words, and she told us to keep going. When we got done, her whole purple house was blue. I told her as soon as we got done, because I felt bad, and customers are always going to say, oh, don't worry about it. And sometimes that's not good. You want to actually know, like, and I told her, I said, no, let us take care of it. We'll paint it. We'll do whatever we have to do.
Yeah.
And she ends up going to look for the same paint. This is what saved us, is that it was a specific brand. I won't say. They ended up selling her interior paint for the exterior, and so yeah. So it wasn't really our fault, but that was something where, again, we did our testing, but at the same time, when you start dealing with certain colors and stuff as a soft wash pressure washer, you have to know your boundaries. So
that sucks, but it's nice that making it right. You offer to make it right. There's a lot of people that wouldn't make it, wouldn't offer to make it
100%.
right, or they would point the blame somewhere else. And so that's awesome. Well, what about your plans? I mean, so it's 2026 now. I can't believe January is almost over for 2026 already. It's flying by. But what are y'all's plans for 2026? How are y'all planning to grow this year?
So we actually we just launched a south, I guess mid. If you're down, basically we launched a whole nother Optimum window cleaning and pressure washing South Florida campaign, and we're out in Tampa now.
Awesome.
So slowly growing. We actually launched that, I would say, probably in August of last year. And everyone down there, if you call it South, it's not the South. It's not the South. So but it's our South Florida branch, and I mean it is growing significantly. And it's like you said earlier. I mean, man, when I first started, I am actually one of, I think there's two other, between window cleaning and pressure washing, one of the longest running window cleaning and pressure washing companies. When I started, there was only, I think, that one or two other companies. And so, down there's a lot of competition, but there's so much more work down there.
For people that don't know, we kind of live on a little island here where it's connected by bridges. We're not necessarily landlocked, but it's not the biggest area. There's only probably 20 or 30,000 or maybe 40,000 year-round residents now.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. Well, one thing we talked about a little bit, how Google is important. What do y'all do? What do y'all do on Google to try and get more customers? And obviously y'all work with us at Review Harvest, but are there other things y'all do, like run ads, or do y'all do any SEO, or what's kind of the sort of work that y'all do?
So we have a team. We have a a marketing team, OMG National.
Okay.
I've been with them now. Our company's been with them now for, I would say, going on about 4.5 years. And they kind of do all of our digital marketing. But I will say, one of the things, and so they've tried all the different stuff. Well, we've done the different stuff, the stuff that we see the analytics, where it's working and stuff.
Yeah.
But the one thing they would always push, reviews. The one thing you need, Taylor, we got to get those reviews. It's just, it's the reviews with the Google is hand in hand. That's what you need, and that's what you have to use to get, growing.
Yeah. Well, do you remember how many reviews y'all had when y'all got started with us?
I believe we had about 85 reviews, if I'm not mistaken. I don't. Do you know? Do you have that number?
Yeah, I think I have it. I think I have it pulled up. I know that in the last couple months, y'all have gotten 76 reviews.
Buku.
So y'all are at 294 now. I don't know exactly what y'all had before. I think maybe y'all had low 200s or high 100s or something. But in the last 3 months, y'all have gotten 76 reviews. So what has it been like working with Review Harvest so far?
It's been amazing. Again, like I said, I'm not good with the social media and the marketing, the digital marketing side, right? So I don't really look at, all that kind of stuff too much, but obviously I have my ladies in the office that come and say, oh, this is how many reviews we got and that kind of thing. But what I do have on my phone, on my personal phone, is I do have my Gmail for the business up there, just so I can kind of watch everything. And I'm telling you, it's almost like a company get together. Every time we see a review, we're like, oh, there, and we've called it magic. It's like magic what you do. We can't figure it out, and we're very thankful, and it's changed the game for us, honestly. So
I always like to kind of close out with maybe some advice you would have for maybe somebody who is 19 right now and they're starting their pressure washing business or their home service business out of that old truck. That there might be a little bit ashamed to pull up at the client's house. What's some pieces of advice you would have for somebody trying to grow their business?
Just don't do everything off of YouTube. Get good equipment. Make sure you're putting your money into good equipment. We all have been there and wanted to be cheap because you don't have money. Grab good equipment, buy good equipment. Make sure you actually know what you're doing. Speak to the customers and have waivers. And then also, put your money into marketing. That's the biggest thing. If, people will not put their money into marketing, and, myself and other companies side by side, you can see the growth. So those are the couple of things I would say.
Well, we're going to have all of your stuff linked down below. So if you're in, I know we do have a decent following in our area since we're both located here in Santa Rosa Beach. Yeah. So if you're in the area, make sure to check them out. We'll have their website and stuff linked down below. But Taylor, I appreciate you hopping on and spreading some wisdom for the younger pressure washers out there.
Most definitely, man. It's a pleasure. And like I said, you guys have been amazing.
Have a great rest of your day, Taylor. See ya.